Okay, hello. This stream is good. Let me check.
Is it
Now,
on?
hey, hold on. Let me check.
Is that my short?
Oh yeah, that's your shirt.
Right.
Okay.
I think it just.
Oh, it's on. It's on.
It's
All
on.
right, we're live, everybody. Hey guys, Featured Critic here
Yes.
once again, back with another live stream. Now, you might be thinking why I'm doing another one of these. Well, today we're gonna rank the Pixar movies. Well, I'm not doing this alone because I have a special guest right here. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Hello, everyone.
yep, that's my special guest, Jay to the Man, and I'm
Oh,
ranking all the Pixar movies with him. Now, you might be thinking, Pea Shooter, aren't you supposed to be doing another ranking video on all the Pixar movies? Well, that's a yes, but the video is taking too long. So, you're going to get a Pixar ranking early with my friend.
hello,
Okay.
everyone. In case you are unaware of who I am, I'm Jay to the Man. I make media analyzation videos for a living. I talk about various movies and TV shows, as well as favorite childhood content like Thomas the Tank Engine, including the series that really put me out on YouTube. I made a little series a couple years back called Why I Love Pixar.
Yeah, you did? Oh gosh.
Going just like give it whichever like new film like releases for the new year. So yeah, I'm honored to be on board.
Yeah, yeah, it's good to have you here. And also, hopefully, the stream is going well. It's not lagging since I know I have issues with Chromebooks before. Oh, I saw you freezing a little bit, but anyway. So yeah, and I'm gonna share my screen right now. I'm totally not prepared for this. I never done a live stream collab before. Well, I have on the main channel, but not a tier list format. You know what I mean? Okay.
I mean, this is my first time in a live stream format too.
All right.
So I know, yeah, I know like how like live streams work, but I've just like never done it before on my channel. Which I mean,
Yep.
I should probably get up on that, but not now. Maybe
Yeah.
later on.
Oh. Okay. Hold on. Let me say hi to you, lovely people, real quick. Hey, Devon. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. And also, John Snooger Bostic. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. All right. I'm gonna get the list ready. So yeah,
Let's
here
get it
is the
started.
list. And hold on. Let me do this. All right.
Here it is.
Hey, there it is, guys. So hopefully the quality is good. Hopefully we won't have any lag. And did you see the zoom? I apologize. I have to stream on a Chromebook because we had a bit of issue with my computer. So anyway, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wonder how
we're
opinions will vary in this video.
oh
Mhm.
right. Since as you may know, Pixar tier lists are a little bit controversial since a lot of people are very opinionated when it comes to Pixar movies. Now, the full disclaimer, guys, this is just our opinions. This entire list is based on our opinions. So if you have a different opinion on any of these films, please let us know in the chat. Also, please be respectful down there. I know how people act when it comes to opinions.
Yeah, please don't attack either me or Bee Shooter because if that happens, we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah, we're gonna have a problem. I forgot to make you a mod
Oh,
on my end, so I'll probably do that
and
later.
if you see me eating, I'm sorry. I just thought I might, have a little
No, you're
something.
good. You're good. You're good.
Hmm,
You're good.
hmm.
You're good. You're totally good.
Okay.
Yeah, you probably know some of my views on Pixar movies, John. Anyway, let's get started with the first ever movie that Pixar has ever released, which is Toy
Toy
Story.
Story.
The
Oh,
first,
hell yeah.
yep, the first ever CGI anime film ever made, and still one of their best in my opinion. I'm for real on that. I don't think there's any other film that could ever reach the level as Toy Story. Well, that's not true since Toy Story 2 is clearly the better option than 1. But still, 1 is still a pretty darn good movie for a couple of reasons. One, it's animation. For being the very first CGI anime film ever made, it's still very impressive on how the animation in this movie still looks this good even in today's standards, in my opinion. Well, that's not 100% true, since some of the animation in this movie could look a little bit dated in today's standards, but we'll give it a pass. It was the first CGI anime film ever made, and there wasn't really much to compare this to at the time. So I'll let that slide on that alone. I really like the simple storytelling about the favorite toy. Sure, the story in this movie is not big or ambitious like the other Toy Story movies that came after it, but still a good story. Plus, I don't mind the simplicity of the movie. The characters in this movie are very likable, from Sid, Andy to the side characters, and also Woody and Buzz. They're easily the best Pixar duo. I love how this movie is setting up their characters. And we all know Woody has been getting criticism as of recently for being a jerk in this movie, but personally, I didn't have a problem with that since I understand why he is a jerk since he's going through a character arc. Plus, I found him a likable joke, so I will excuse for that. I will excuse that alone. Hey, it could have been worse. He could have turned into, the demo version of
Oh
Woody,
God.
where he was so unlikable.
Oh my
Like,
God. I still look back on like that. Well, actually, yeah. I'll let you finish. I'll let you
yeah.
finish. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at the production of the movie, Woody was very different when it compares to him in the first one, where he is a jerk in that movie, but he is a likable jerk, and you understand why he acts that way. But in the demo version, oh man, if they release him, what do you bet might be the most unlikable character or might be in the top 10 most hateable Pixar characters if they release that? Anyway, also the jokes in here are good. The score by Randy Newman is fantastic, and the climax in this movie is also good. But if I have any criticism with Toy Story, it's probably the side character didn't get much screen time compared to the sequels. But overall, I still like Toy Story. But let's hear your thoughts on Toy Story 1.
Okay, so my thoughts on the first Toy Story is that, okay, I think this is very good. Like, not just in terms of animation, but just for putting Pixar like on the map. Like, literally in their first outing, like they really did knock it out of the park. For this being their very first feature film, their very first the very first fully CGI animated film ever made. And like this was
Mhm.
1995, and like
Wait,
here
hold
we
on.
are 31 years later, and it's still a
Wait, hold on. I don't think anyone can see you. Real
oh
quick.
oh yeah,
Let
I
me
think
fix that.
oh no, it's
Oh dear. Can guys, can you all see him or
I mean if you can't, then it's fine. You can my I have a very distinctive voice.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's totally fine. I just wanted to get you in the um video camera and all, or
Yeah,
maybe
even if you can't see me now, I mean, all you gotta do is go on my channel.
yep.
My face is very distinctive. But anyway, like I said, for being Pixar's first ever feature film, like this was very revolutionary for the time, even if,
Yeah.
31 years later the animation is very dated. But
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, even as a kid, like this movie's like never really been one of my personal favorites. I think it's just like a little slightly overhyped because I think kind of like on the lines of what P Shooter's saying, like what I don't really like about this movie is like Woody, Because like I feel like compared to like how he acts in the sequels, yeah,
Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, I think he's breaking up. Oh
for
dear.
just like a huge, and it's like kind of hard for you to kind of a little bit hard for you to root for him. Funny, I do get like a lot
Wait,
of
wait, wait,
laughs
wait. You
out of like anything that comes out of his mouth, and
wait, hold on. You broke up a little bit. Can you explain it a little? Explain it again. So you broke up a little bit.
oh yeah.
Oh gosh, dang it. Okay. Seem to have a little bit of lag issue, but okay,
I mean, from my stance, I think it's going fine.
okay. But on my end, you were lagging a little. No, no, you were kind of glitching at the end. But anyway, continue.
But yeah, I mean, as I was saying, I feel like Woody's just kind of like a little too like unlikable in this first film compared to the sequels. Because like in those movies, like you get where I feel like you get a little more with where he's coming from. Because those movies had more like nuanced conflicts per se. Than in this one, he's just kind of like fueled by his jealousy towards Buzz, and it kind of makes you like slightly it makes him kind of like slightly unlikable, but you know, even then he's still really he's this is still like a good start to his character arc throughout the rest of the series, and I still find him very funny. And
Yeah,
I mean, on the subject of that, this is I would consider this to be the funniest Toy Story film. Like like the comedic timing is just on it's just on spot. I feel like
that's
other
kind.
minor things, like the fact that like yeah, like it's kind of like less big and ambitious as the later sequels, because like we only get to spend like one you only get to spend time in like one new location in Pizza
Oh
Planet,
yeah.
and then for the rest of the movie we're just kind of like in Sid's house, and it's not really like you know like a pleasant spot to be in for a good portion of the movie. But you know, yeah, even like my problems aside, like I know I've been complaining a lot, but I mean I do really like the first Toy Story. I don't love it as much as others, but for being the Kickstarter to not only Pixar but for this series, it's definitely revolutionary. They did a great job.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm kind of debatable on this being the funniest Toy Story movie since I think two is better with the comedic timing than one since I laugh more frequently in two compared to one.
Right,
But
two, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I agree. It's funny. I mean, it is responsible for the "you got a toy" joke and the Woody meme laugh, which that meme laugh always gets me every time I put this movie on.
I mean, does Toy was looking alien? Where? Pa!
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
All right. So,
All
oh,
right, next movie. Oh wait,
oh
where
wait.
would you rate it? Where would you put it?
For me, I was wanted to put this movie in S tier, but I'm leaning more towards an A.
Okay.
Where would you put it?
I mean, I put it like high B, which I know is gonna piss a lot of fans off.
Okay. So looks like we had a bit of a debatable um discussion. So anyway, I'm gonna make a wheel. Whenever we have a disagreement on a film, I'm going to spin a wheel, and whoever lands on if it lands on my name or it lands on wait, how do you
Then
want
it's
me to
your.
prefer you throughout this? You want me to call you Josh or Jason Man?
I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind.
Okay, I guess I'll call you Josh.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Make the wheel on my phone. Yeah. Also, anyone has a problem with the swearing, I totally apologize. Even though my channel's family friendly, it's fine. I'll let them do it.
Okay.
Okay. How do I where's the settings? Okay, I'm gonna spin it right now. See who it lands on. I'll just pull it up on my. Anyway, you can't.
Is it
Okay.
me?
Yeah, it might be a bit blurry, but anyway. Okay, it's going to land on. Is it gonna land on you or is it gonna land on me? Okay, it's going slow. Oh, it might land on you since it's going slowly towards you. Okay.
Is it me?
Yep, it's you. All right. All right, Toy
Ah!
Story, you're
I'm
going
sorry.
in a B. Even though it kind of pains me to put
And
that.
again, it's just
I get it, it's opinions, but man, it kind of hurts me since I love the first Toy Story. It's in my top 10. Anyway,
I'm sorry.
sorry. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, next we're on A Bug's Life. Pixar's
Oh.
second and very average film. I think this film is cute and
Mm.
charming. But I'm gonna let you go since I know you have a very interesting opinion when it comes to this
Mm.
movie.
Yep. Look, I already dedicated 11 minutes into talking about this movie like 2 years ago,
Oh
so
yeah, I
I'll keep
remember
this as
commenting
brief as
on
I
that.
can. So you can just watch my video for more context. But to sum up, man, even as a kid, this has never really been one of my personal favorite Pixar films. I think this is definitely the Pixar film that has aged the worst over time. I think in terms of animation, like for being like this was 1998, so obviously it was like super great at the time, but
Yeah.
now I mean it just looks super
I mean,
ugly,
you
and
gotta give it a little bit of a pass since it was
I can give it a pat. Yeah, I mean
yeah,
give
it
it
was
like a bit of an edge, but
yeah,
I
since
just
it
think
was
like
during a time where CGI animation was new and there wasn't much to compare this to at the time, except for Toy Story and VeggieTales. But you
yeah,
gotta give it a little pass. It was during the 90s, and I don't think it's fair to compare early CGI animation to later
the
animation.
now,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
yeah, you're. I mean, I just for me, I feel like my problem with the movie kind of comes down to like the characters. I never I
Oh,
mean,
uh,
the ant, like the rest of the ants. I think the circus bugs.
wait,
I
you
feel like they're just like I've
oh,
explained this
oh,
before. Like they're kind of like show off their personality, show off their gimmick, and then are
wait,
just kind of are like
you
left
cut
in the
off a
side,
little.
left.
Oh my gosh, it's cutting off. Oh, sorry. It cut off on my end a little bit again. Sorry about that. This is the best quality we only have,
No,
but
my end is it's okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, on my end it's glitching a little
Yeah.
bit. I truly
All right.
apologize for that. But anyway, yeah, okay, you can explain that again, or
But yeah, as I was saying, my main issue with the film kind of boils down to the characters, and I really never found like Flick to be one of the most like memorable Pixar protagonists. As for the rest of the characters, like the other ants and the circus bugs, I've said it before, but they just say they show off their personality, they show off their gimmick, and they're just kind of left in the sidelines with like not much else to do. And I think like I don't really find like any of them to be like that likable, except for two. I neglected to mention the other character in my initial review. The first character that I think is the biggest highlight is undoubtedly the villain, Hopper. Like he's
yeah,
easily up there as
I
one of
agree
like
with that.
Yeah, he's easily one of the best Pixar villains of all time. The other one is P.T. Flea, John Ratzenberger's character.
Oh,
Yeah,
P.T. Fleek. I
I
remember
think
him.
he's super super funny, and I'm kicking myself not mentioning him prior. There's like a lot of like he's not in the movie often, which kind of sucks, but I
Yeah.
like when he is on screen, I think he steals the show like as the comedic character, but everything else I just no never really cared for.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm the complete opposite with Josh since I like A Bug's Life. I think it's a cute and charming movie for what it is. Definitely not one of the best Pixar movies that is out there, but it's still a charming movie that I think it's underrated. The animation, in my opinion, actually holds up even today, even though it does look a bit dated in today's standard. I mean, the only part of the animation that I thought was dated is the water. You can easily tell that that was early CGI water, and yeah, that ain't good. But still, it the animation, in my opinion, still holds up. The jokes in here are pretty funny. I wasn't expecting this movie to make me laugh, but it did, and I
Yeah.
feel like most of the jokes in this movie. The characters in here are likable, like you said before. No, actually, no. You said you didn't care for most of the
No, I said
characters.
the opposite.
Yeah, I like the characters. I think Flick is charming and Venturant. The circuit bugs are great comedic relief characters, in my opinion. The villain is easily the best part of the film, and I will include PT Flea on that conversation since I didn't discuss spoiler on my video, but I did not put him in the character selection highlight, which I would, which I wish I did. And anyway, the score by Randy Newman is also good, and I do like the climax, but there are some issues I have with this movie. One, the story. I don't find the story to be bad. It's just it's not the strongest story that Pixar has told. And also, there's some other problems in this movie. One is the liar reveal plot. I hate how they're so over dramatic with the liar reveal plot.
Okay, yeah, I hate that too. Yeah.
Yeah. I also it's kind of dumb when Flick mistake the circus bug as warrior bugs.
Yeah,
Like
that's dumb. Yeah.
that's pretty dumb. And also there is one scene in this movie that did not need to be there. We did not need the scene when Flick chased the remember the scene when Flick is saving Dot from a bird? Like what was that supposed to add?
I mean, it made for some good action. Which is another
Yeah,
thing I
but
like about the movie, but
oh
oh.
yeah. But it doesn't really add much to the plot. It's just there.
Yeah, the
Also,
whole
I don't.
misunderstanding thing I also found pretty stupid.
Yeah. So I hate how many of the characters in this movie are a huge jerk to Flick for absolutely no reason at all. I mean, I get now why they hate him since he did knock over the food for the grasshoppers, but that was an accident, and I felt bad for Flick in that instance. Also, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I don't like Dot. I found her pretty pointless.
Oh.
She's only there to be a tool character. That's it. She's
Oh.
only there to be a tool character.
Ooh.
Oh, that's her entire personality. She's just there for the characters to save her. And she doesn't serve anything to the plot other than there to be cute.
Ooh.
Anyway, I but besides that, I still like A Bug's Life. It's still an underrated movie in my opinion, and for my placement, I'm leaning more of a. I wanted to put it in a B, but I'm thinking of. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say, but I'm probably gonna put this in a high C. That's where I will
I
put it.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I mean, I'm really sorry, but I mean, kind of like it's kind of like it's high D tier for
Oh,
me.
okay. A D. Oh my. Okay, that I think that's a little bit hard, but all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna
You spin the
fix.
wheel.
No, no, hold on. I'm just trying to fix the layout that I have. on. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna make a poem now. Well, actually, hopefully, if my big computer will let me do it. Actually, no. Let me just spin
Mhm.
the wheel. It'll be much easier since my computer I have is not good. Okay, I'm gonna spin the wheel. Let's see who it lands on. Please land on me because I don't think A Bug's Life is D tier territory. Wait, is it gonna land on me or is it
Oh,
might land on you? Is it gonna land on
it's
you
still spinning.
or yeah?
Oh, me?
Oh, yep, it's you. Oh, dang, you won two in a row. Okay,
Me?
I gotta put more
Oh.
of your username in mine since I only put two.
Okay, the sec that opinion I feel for my opinion on A Bug's Life. Okay, I feel I should be. I mean, I'm not really proud because I know it has its fans. I think it's like kind of harsh to put it that low, but I don't know. It's just you know,
Can you
it's an
can you
opinion that
tolerate
you have
this movie
every
being in
right
a
to
C?
disagree about.
Okay, can you tolerate this movie being in a C level since it's not that bad? Like, I don't think A Bug's Life is nearly there.
Fine,
Okay,
C
okay,
minus,
yeah, all right, all right. We compromise,
C
guys.
minus,
All right,
but like a 70% C minus. Like a 70% C minus, right on the line between okay and my opinion, bad.
okay, all right. We
All right.
compromise. We put a movie in C tier, which is such a relief since man, it kind of heart breaks me
Mm-hmm.
to put this. Well, I'll give ants. I'll give a bugs like this. At least it's better than ants. I'm not a big fan on ants, so anyway, we'll save that for another discussion.
Yeah.
Anyway, next, I
Okay.
think this is a movie we can both
All right.
agree
Next
on.
movie.
Yeah, this movie, I feel like this is a movie we could both agree on, which is Toy Story 2. And well, I'm just gonna put up the rank. I think this movie is it's easily one of the best anime sequels of all time, and I don't think any other anime sequel could ever beat it.
Mm-hmm.
Not even the K-pop Demon Hunter sequel that's coming out several years later. I don't think it can beat Toy Story 2 since this movie does a really good job on expanding the universe by adding new layers to it. Did it. Anyway, I think the animation in this movie is a huge improvement over the first film animation, even though that film has timeless animation. Two, in my opinion, honestly looks better since the characters move smoothly and it doesn't look weird sometimes. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
um, oh, trying to figure out what to put anyway. I think the jokes in here are a huge improvement over one, even though one has good jokes, but I think two is way more funnier than one because it made me laugh again and again, and they just kept the joke coming. I mean, this is the movie that referenced Star Wars in this movie. That's how you know this movie's hilarious. Oh wait,
Wasn't that my joke
oh gosh
in my
dang it!
Pixar ranking?
Oh, I remember. Oh yeah, yep, that's your joke.
Uh,
Oh, dang it. I have problems on taking your jokes. If you go on my letterbox, I took his pun on the Incredibles movies. Anyway, moving on. I also think this film improved on some aspects from the first film by having the side characters from the first film get more screen time, since that's our big problem with the first movie that the side characters didn't get much screen time compared to the sequels. But two actually put those side characters from the first film and gave them more screen time. Hoping this is good and analyzing, guys. I hope I'm doing a decent job. If not, sorry. I also like the new characters in this movie as well. Oh, my bad. You actually put those side characters from the first film. Are you watching the stream?
Yeah.
Okay. I also like the characters in this movie. They're great too. The OG characters are still unlikable self, but the other characters are great as well. Like Bullseye, Stinky P, and Jesse. And man, they emotional damage you when the When She Loves Me scene. That scene is so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It tells Jesse backstory without a single word said, and I don't know why Pixar has never come back to this ever since this movie release. I also like how this movie focused more on Woody, but yeah, Toy Story 2 is a fantastic sequel. Easily the best Toy Story movie in my opinion, but let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, honestly, okay, this is probably the first opinion on this list where I say we actually agree on, because I think that Toy Story 2, yeah, on the lines of what Peter on what Pea Shooter's saying, I think it's one of the best animated sequels of all time. Yeah, the animation is better. I like that pretty much all the characters from the old gang to the new characters, especially Jesse, get their own time in the spotlight. Yep, definitely S tier for both
Yep.
me and Pea Shooter. Yeah, I don't really have a ton else to say that, haven't already heard before. Yeah,
Right.
I think it's just it's perfect. It's perfect.
I agree. Toy Story 2 is a perfect sequel. I cannot think of a single problem with Toy Story 2 since every aspect in the movie is perfect.
Hmm.
Also, if you want to hear his full depth thoughts on Toy Story 2, go watch his Pixar series,
Yeah.
which was the inspiration to my series.
VeggieTales,
Okay.
VeggieTales.
Okay, there we go. Go check it out, guys, and be sure to subscribe to him as well, since he has 4,000 subscribers. Let's see if we can get him to 5,000. Hopefully,
5,000 subscribers. End of
yeah.
2026. See you there.
Mm-hmm. All right, next Pixar movie we have is Monsters Inc. Easily,
Ooh.
which this movie I easily consider this to be the funniest movie that Pixar has ever made. And I know that's a high bar, but I love Monsters Inc. This is so nostalgic for me. I remember watching this constantly on DVD when I was a kid. I still own it to this day. And yeah, most of the jokes in this movie land. I mean, just like Toy Story 2, it made me laugh again and again, and they just kept the jokes coming. And if anyone's gonna argue me that this movie is not funny, think again, because this is the movie that brought us the 2319 joke. That's how you know this movie's hilarious. And on top of that, it does a really good job with taking the concept on monsters coming out of the closet and turning it into something very creative and fun by making the monsters scare children for Scream, which is so cool. I also like the characters in this movie. Mike and Sully, in my opinion, is easily the best Pixar duo of all time. Way better than Woody Buzz, in my opinion, which I know that's a high bar, and I know I'm probably going to tick off some fans, but I just much prefer Mike and Sully since they have really good chemistry, and I like their friendship throughout the movie. And I like how when Boo gets into the picture, their friendship get tested. And well, that's pretty good. Hope I'm getting anyway. Hold on, I need a drink real quick. Gotta stay hydrated if I'm keep going with this conversation. I also like how this movie decided to just let Mike and Sully be friends and not giving them an arc. Like you remember in Toy Story 1 where in that film they gave Woody and Buzz an arc on them becoming friends. But in this movie, they'd be like, hey, they don't need an arc to be friends. They could just start start to be friends from the very beginning and let the plot go. Oh gosh, sorry about the crappy. Hope I'm getting some good analysis or my. Also like the villains in this movie as well. Easily, Mr. Marnus is easily Mr. Marnus is the best villain from this movie. I mean, Randall is great, but when you got another twist villain that represented corrupt CEOs right now, that's some good stuff. Also, the emotional moments in this movie hit. I like the climax. But if I have a nitpick with Monsters Inc., it's probably when Sully doesn't listen to Mike in some instances of the movie, which I kind of find that a little bit annoying. But overall, I still love Monsters Inc. It's a pretty good movie. It has a bunch of laughs and tons of emotional moments. But let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I'd say for me, I do really like the first Monsters Inc. Um, I'd say it's definitely up there in terms of in terms of comedy. There are a lot of moments in that movie that make me laugh really, really hard. Not just the 2319 gag that they got going on. Randall and Waternoose make for awesome villains. Sully and Boo's relationship is super wholesome. Mike is kind of really is kind of like kind of like the example of like a likable jerk where like
Yeah.
he's charming, but at the same time, like you also kind of like kind of hate him too.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, will you say Mike is like Woody from Toy Story 1, but a little bit better since he's a more likable jerk
Yeah,
than
Mike is
Woody?
definitely more likable. Yeah. I mean, what would Mike be without the whole "now put that thing back where it came from or throw it
Oh my gosh,
away"?
I forgot that joke.
Yeah,
That's
okay, that's another one too. I love that that wasn't just a one-off joke. I mean, in the DVD version of the movie,
oh
during the
yeah,
end credits, the whole "put that thing back where it came from," that was like a actual performance. I really really love that. But yeah,
yeah,
I mean, not too much else to say. I mean, again, kind of like the first Toy Story, it's like not quite up there for me, but it's a top 15er for sure.
hmm For me, okay, so where I would put it, I say this movie's S tier. It's definitely up there for me with Toy Story 1. Sorry, no, not Toy Story 1. Toy Story 2. Since it's easily the funniest Pixar movie of all time. And I
Hmm.
and I'm kind of shocked that you put Turner Red above Monsters Inc. But anyway, I'm gonna get that out of the way. I'm gonna wait until
I'll
we get
save
to
it for
that
when we get to
abomination. Yeah,
that
once
movie.
we get to that abomination, oh man, I'm gonna rant so hard with Turner Red. Well, there's another Pixar movie that came during 2011. We'll get to later. That I'm gonna rant so hard.
Yep.
But anyway, so my placement for Monsters Inc. is an S. Where would you put it?
I think like high B, low A, kind of somewhere along the lines of that.
You know what? I can tolerate a low A. I can tolerate a low A. All right,
All
Monsters
right.
Inc. is an A.
All right then.
All right. Next, we are on to Finding
Finding
Nemo,
Nemo.
which this is a movie that I feel like we both have nostalgia for.
Hmm.
I'm gonna let you go since I know this is your first ever Pixar movie you ever watch.
Oh yes, this was in fact, yeah, um my first escape into the Pixar world. It just it just blew my mind as a kid. And I still remember one of my birthdays being Finding Nemo themed.
Oh
That
yeah, I saw that in your
was
Finding Nemo review.
it was unforgettable. Get it? Okay,
Yeah.
anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. I'd say even for 2003, I think the animation doesn't look dated. I think
I
the water graphics, the fish creatures, it's all. just oozing with life and expression, and all the characters are super super charming and funny. Like, I mean, obviously you got, the main characters like Marlin, Nemo, Dory, but the rest of the side characters, I'd say they steal the show more. I'd say they steal the show more than the main three. The sharks, the tank gang, the seagulls. I mean, those scenes were super super funny to me back then, and they're still funny today. I mean,
Yeah.
I still quote the "fish are friends, not food" scene. Yeah.
Oh, about that joke, when I did a stream with Michael, when I kept getting hit by Cheap Cheese and New Super Mario Brothers, I said the opposite. Fish are food, not friends. And man, he cracked up when I said that. Anyway, continue.
Uh, but yeah, I think this was the first Pixar film where like the emotional center is the core of the story because from right from the very beginning, Marlin's wife dies, and as well as almost like every single one of their kids, obviously with the exception of Nemo, and that's what causes him to be overprotective for a good portion of the movie because he doesn't want to lose like the only child he has left. And when that actually does happen and Nemo gets kidnapped, that's what causes his fight or flight like to just click.
Oh,
And
oh
and that's
yeah.
it, like his arc throughout the movie is learning that Nemo, like, he can be, he can be adventurous, he can explore the world. He just, like, there will come a time when, you'll be there for him, but there'll be a time when, you gotta let them decide who they want to be, like what path they set out for themselves.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with you. I agree with most of what you said throughout Finding Nemo. Yeah, the animation in this movie is still timeless. Even today, it still holds up. Several years later, most of the characters in this movie are great as well. And I will agree, the side characters easily steal the show throughout this movie more than the mains. Like, yeah, I agree. The seagulls, the tank gang, the the sharks, they're all so memorable. Easily my favorite side character in this movie is Crush. He's such a cool
Hmm.
dude, and I feel like that's a guy I want to hang out with and have a beer with. No, just kidding, guys. I don't drink. Okay, alright. I also like the story as well. I like how it's a story about parenting. Granted, I'm not a parent myself, but I still appreciate them for doing this. And let's be thankful that the fish animation in this movie,
Is better than a
yeah, is
certain
better than a
other
certain Will
animated fish
Smith
movie.
fish. I'm looking at you, Shark Tale. Disclaimer: I like Shark Tale, but man, the animation's bad. Oh my gosh. But anyway, we're not talking about DreamWorks movies. This is Pixar.
Yeah.
I also like some of the scenes in this movie, like like the Thai current, the jellyfish race. They're all so good. The jokes in here are funny. But my nitpick with Finding Nemo is okay. I don't know if this is a controversial opinion, but I don't think this film needed a climax. I'm sorry, but I don't think Finding Nemo needed a climax. They could just remove it from the movie and just have Marlin find his son, and he's happy that he found his son, then end it right there. But I will admit it's fun, but I think it's a little bit unnecessary, at least for me. But
Really,
anyway,
I like that scene. It's
huh?
like between. But yeah, I was gonna say I actually like that the movie had had that climax since like that's like the final like point in the movie where Marlin realizes that his son really can do it.
Okay. Okay, I for me, my placement for Finding Nemo, I'm leaning more towards an A. I'm gonna go with an A for Finding
Yeah, it's an
Nemo.
A. It's a high A. It's a
Yeah,
high
that's a
A.
movie I feel like we can both agree on.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna put Finding Nemo in A. Oh, Mike. Okay, my friend Michael said Toy Story 2 is my favorite Pixar movie. Okay, that's a solid choice.
Yeah.
Anyway, next is The Incredibles.
Woohoo.
Easily the best animated superhero movie of all time. And you know what? I'm just gonna put it up on the rank. This is an S tier movie.
It's easily
I'm
up
putting
there
this.
in the S tier.
Yep, yep. There's no debate on that. Everybody knows that The Incredibles is S tier. And you're gonna, anyone gonna say that The Incredibles is not one of the best Pixar movie? Then you're dead wrong. This film has action. It has a strong story about about superhero family, about superheroes going to high, but there's one hero in particular that wants to relive the glory days. So the story in this movie is about a mediocre man. Is about a man trapped in a world of mediocrity. But but later in the film, he finally realized that he appreciate his family for who they are. Hope that's a good analysis, guys. I truly apologize for that bad. Oh, anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, I kind of stutter a little bit. So when it comes to recording, the score in this movie is also great as well. The jokes in here are funny. The villain's great. So honestly, I have nothing else to say about The Incredibles. It's The Incredibles. It's perfect. There's nothing wrong with this movie. But let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Yeah, I'd say like there's very little wrong with The Incredibles and like yeah, what else is there to say about it? I love the action. I love the villain. I'd say Syndrome's up there as one of like best Pixar villains of all time. And I feel like I would call this
I
the
agree.
first Pixar film like to feel the most adult, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
Because like it's
I
not just
know.
a because it's not just a story about superheroes. It's about a man going through a midlife crisis and how he learns to appreciate his family along the way. I'd
Yeah.
say there's like a lot of scenes in this movie that feel like that doesn't feel like it's talking down to its audience. Like scenes like the scenes that play out like I still look back on the argument between Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl during
Oh, that argument.
their fight in the middle of the night like there's no music, there's no like there's nothing that's over exaggerated. It's just two people talking back and forth against each other and just feels like a normal argument, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There's like numerous other scenes that are like that as well, but you know, I won't go into it here since I already have an entire video. I already have an entire 10-minute
Oh
video talking about it.
yeah, he already did a review on this movie on his Why I Love Pixar series, so go check that out. You want to hear his full thoughts on the movie, but don't look at
Yes.
my series. I did not explain anything about the Incredibles. It's just VeggieTales, but I will share my thoughts on that movie once I release my own ranking on the Pixar films. But
All
anyway,
right.
yeah, there's no denying that The Incredibles is S tier.
All
It's
right.
a great movie that is very incredible, pun intended. Okay, next is
Uh-huh.
Cars.
Hmm.
The one movie that many people hated on it for no reason. Yeah, I remember them hating on Cars. Even my brothers didn't like Cars. I don't know it's because the main character is a car, but that's not a reason to dislike the movie, since I think Cars is easily a good movie. Like, this is, like, in my opinion, a B tier territory movie. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
good, and I like it, but not one of the best Pixar movies. And I don't know if this is a hot take. I think Cars 1 should have just been a standalone film and not got sequels. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So yeah, Cars is a good movie. It tells a simple story about a hotshot shower who wants to enjoy the simple things in life, even though that story has been done in films before, like films like The Emperor's New Groove. But I like how Cars told the story. The characters in here are likable as well. Lightning McQueen is a decent protagonist. I mean, I enjoy his arc for what it is, and it's very decent, but still not one of the strongest like jerk arcs that is out there.
Hmm.
Vader is a great comedic relief character until they ruined him in a certain movie that came out in 2011 where they involved him in spies. We'll get to that later. The I wait, let me look at my notes. The villain in this movie is good. I mean, Chick Hicks is funny. He's easily one of the funniest Pixar villains of all time. Well, I wouldn't say that. The jokes in here are great as well. I laugh most of the jokes in this movie, and I do like the Out of Town song. That was pretty good. But I do have issues with Cars. I know some people at my youth say, "Oh, Cars is easily the best Pixar movie of all time." No, it's not. I mean, it's their opinion, but I'm sorry, I don't think this is the best Pixar movie. It has its problems. Lightning is too unlikable in this movie. I know he's going through a character arc, but man, him acting like a joke was so infuriating, in my opinion. Because yeah, he's kind of likable in this movie. There are some scenes in this movie that did not need to be there, like the whole lightning racing with dog and the tractor scene. Even though I do enjoy those scenes, I feel like they should have been removed from the movie. They don't really add much to the plot. Also, why is this movie 2 hours long? That is so
Almost 2 hours long.
That's so strange. Why is it almost 2 hours long? I mean, The Incredibles was 2 hours long, and that movie earned its runtime. But yeah, overall, I like Cars. I think it's good, but let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I would say I would say I was a pretty big fan of pretty much all the Cars movies as a kid, but obviously I'm not a kid anymore. So I'd say even now I consider Cars to be a decent film. Not great, but I'd say for what it is, it's okay. It's okay enough. I like that compared to the Pixar films we talked about before, like this one feels more simple, which, makes sense since it's about Lightning McQueen learning to enjoy the simple ways of life, and that
Hmm.
racing isn't always everything. But yeah, I think the race scenes are cool. I think the ending's pretty wholesome. Um, but yeah, kind of like on what you were saying, I think Lightning is just I think is a little too unlikable for a good portion of the film.
Yeah.
Like obviously, yeah, he's going through a character arc, but I feel like they didn't do enough to make you care for him in the first act, the first half, until he starts to grow and care for
Oh.
definitely feel the runtime because it does drag. Even as a kid, like there were like a few times when I would put on Cars, I would just like skip the whole Radiator Spring stuff entirely.
Oh.
But not now, obviously, not
Right.
now. But as a kid, even I just found it to be boring. Um, but now it's not like, it still kind of drags, but like, all the characters are super charming, especially Mater. I think this
I
is
agree.
easily like best usage of Mater in this series. He has a good line every time he pops up. Um but yeah, I think overall, like not too much else to say. Definitely not up there as one of Pixar's best,
I
but
agree.
like a best of all time. But I think it's okay enough.
Yeah. For me, I think Cars is like a B movie, like a B tier movie. I mean, it's good. I like it, but nowhere near like A or S. Where would you put Cars?
For me, kind of high, probably like high C, like like C plus or like low B.
Okay.
I think I'm kind of leaning. It's right on the line.
Yeah.
Like B minus.
Yeah. Cars are B minus. I mean, hey, this is the only good Cars movie in the franchise. I'm right on that. This is the only good Cars movie there is. Because after that, it went downhill and downhill after that with two sequels that are just nah, and two spin-off movies that I don't care for. Anyway, I'm getting out of hand. Anyway, next is my favorite Pixar movie, Ratatouille. And
Ooh.
oh, I don't know if this is a very controversial opinion, but Ratatouille is easily the best Pixar movie of all time. I love this movie. Even when I first saw it when I was a kid, I think it was good and nothing else. But when I watch it as an adult, I think this is easily the best Pixar movie for a lot of reasons. It does a really good job on taking a weird concept and turning it into something phenomenal at the end. And this is why Bradbury is easily the best Pixar director of all time. Because he takes weird concept that sound weird on paper, but turn it into something phenomenal at the end. And of course, the animation in this movie is once again very beautiful, but that's a given for Pixar. Most of their animation is going to be good, anyways. But man, Ratatouille has some of the most beautiful animation of all time, with most of the cooking scenes from the human to the humans and the rats. It also does a really good job on telling a message on following your dreams. I like most of the characters in this movie, especially Remy. He is easily my favorite Pixar protagonist. I like that he wants to be a chef, and I really want him to pursue that dream at the end. Anton Ego is easily the best Anton villain in this movie, or easily the best Anton villain in cinema. I like his arc on him starting off as a picky food critic, but then later in the film, when he ate the ratatouille, he starts to have a change of heart, which he explained that in his review, which is easily the best part of the movie. And yeah, overall, I don't know what to say. Ratatouille is it's a perfect movie in my opinion. Well, that's not 100% true. If I judge it as a critic, then Ratatouille has one flaw, which is Skinner. I no disclaimer, I like Skinner, but I feel like they could have removed him from the third act since he wasn't really needed in the third act. Just like what Shea Frillis said, he wasn't really needed to be there. But overall, I think Ratatouille is an S tier film. I know there's other Pixar movies that many people would consider to be the best, like Cars and Up. Who many people pick those movies to be the best films of all time? Ratatouille, in my opinion, is my pick for the best Pixar movie of all time. So yeah, it's S tier. But let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I would say Ratatouille. I would call that like high A tier Pixar film
Okay,
for me.
all
There's
right.
everything about that movie just like oozes art. Like from it just from just like it's a lot of that can be found in just like all of the cooking sequences, which just like it just like immerses yourself in the magic, just like the magic of it all. It's not just that, but just like the atmosphere is very beautiful. Um, and I think yeah, I like its message too about following your dreams. I think Remy makes for a really strong main character. All the pretty much most of the characters I really enjoy. Although I can guarantee you that I bring up Linguini to my friends, and
Yeah.
he's not a single person's favorite character in that
Oh,
movie.
oh,
And
that's a
I
bit
get it to an
strange.
I mean, I get it to an extent, but I get it to an extent, but I still find him really. really enjoyable. I still think he's funny.
Same here.
But yeah, kind of in terms of like minor gripes I have, I feel like there's like some action scenes that weren't necessary. I think the motorcycle chase, it's fun. It's fun. The
Yeah.
motorcycle chase between Skinner and Remy. I thought that was pretty fun, but at the same time, it didn't really need to be. And, and wait, what else? What else was I gonna say? Uh, but yeah, I feel like yeah, some action wasn't necessary, and there could have been like I feel like there could have been like a little bit more of like better usage for Skinner in the third act since he does overstay his welcome. But other than that, I think it's a masterpiece.
Same here. I know you way more than A, but me, I'm more towards an S. This is my favorite Pixar movie of all time. I expressed this to many of
Hmm.
my friends at school and church. I think Ratatouille is easily the best Pixar movie of all time. But anyway, since we have a disagreement, I guess I'll pull up the wheel. Okay, my phone can load. All right. Let's see which. Let's see who's gonna land on. Is it gonna land on me or is it gonna land on you? Let's see. Okay. Come on, duo me, since this is my favorite Pixar movie.
You or me?
You.
Me?
All right. All right. I think okay, I can tolerate this being A, but man, I really wish this was S. No one, I'm putting this in S tier anyway, since this is my, since I'm the one doing the stream. All right. Can you tolerate Ratatouille being S tier or
Yeah, I can tolerate that.
yeah? Anyway, I'm putting my favorite Pixar movie up there. Anyway,
Yeah.
next is Wally, which I'm gonna let you go since I know you have a very controversial opinion when it comes to this movie.
Okay, so this is probably my most my hottest take in terms of the Pixar films. I do not care that much for Wall-E, and I know what you're thinking. No, it's no. Why would you say that? It's like it's so good. It's like one of the best Pixar films of all time. And I'm sorry. I know everyone puts this high on their list, but I never cared for it, even as a kid. Not just me, like that. I feel like the rest of my family doesn't really care for like Wall-E that much. I mean, I've watched it a couple times, and like I think it's decent. It's like riding on a very, very, very high 6 out of 10 for me. Um,
All right.
I just think once we get to the whole like humans, like the people on the spacecraft, the Axiom, I just completely lose interest, and that's like a huge chunk of the film. And I think its message was a little like too was like a little on the was like a little on the nose and obvious.
Yeah,
In terms
I
of
agree.
in terms of like, oh, we gotta protect the planet. Stuff
And
like that.
I mean, how Wally taught the message, yes, it is preachy, but at least it wasn't too preachy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna stop there before people come at me with torches and pitchforks.
Yeah,
So why don't you
disclaimer,
go
guys.
ahead?
This is his opinion. We should not attack people's opinions. It's just
Yeah,
his opinion.
so
He can not like Wally, so we need to respect that, guys. So please, guys, if you're watching this stream, do not harass or get your torches or pitchforks to J to the man or Josh. because yeah, that's his opinion. So we need to respect that. Anyway, I'm the complete opposite with Josh since I like Wally. I think this is easily one of the best Pixar movie and easily one of the best, easily the most visual film of all time. Richard. It's a combined tier list. Richard. Anyway, so yeah, I think Wally's one is easily their most visual masterpiece because this film is so beautiful. The animation in this movie is very good. It's so timeless. I like the realistic animation in this movie more so than Good Dinosaur. Because man, I like the realistic animation with the robots, the atmosphere, the backgrounds, everything. I also like the music. Wally and Eve bonding is pretty cute. I kind of like the human
Okay,
characters in
yeah,
Wall,
yeah, that's
but not by much. The jokes in here are funny, and I love how this is a romantic story about two robots falling in love, which is so cute in my opinion. I like seeing these two robots fall in love. Yes, yes, you can call me a boomer and all of that for loving a movie that came out in 2008, which that's the year I was born, and this was my first ever Pixar movie I ever watched. Kind of funny how both of our first ever Pixar movies we watched came from the same director. Anyway,
oh
but
yeah,
I
Andrew Stanton.
oh yeah, Andrew the the message about saving the earth was honestly I think was taught pretty well, even though it is preachy, but at least it wasn't too preachy like some other films we know of. Wario. But if I have to nitpick on Wally, I think it's the villain. I agree with most people when it comes to Otto. Yeah, he's a pretty stupid wheel, and why could he give his own opinion on Earth instead of doing what he's set to be programmed? Anyway, so yeah, I for me, Wally is I say this is S tier because this is my first ever Pixar movie I ever watched. So I hold it in high regards because of that. But I think you lean more towards a C with Wally.
Yeah, yeah, it's below it's like C for me.
All right.
But like you don't have to spin like maybe don't spin the wheel this time. You can just put it in I don't you can put it in S tier if you want. I don't think the fans would I don't think the fans would be pleased to see it below the bottom of the ranking. So yeah, you
Okay.
can yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
putting this in S tier. Well, thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right. All right. Next is Up, which I'm
Ooh.
just gonna put up the rank and put this in S tier too, since I know
Yep.
this is your favorite Pixar movie.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna
this
let you to him.
Yeah, this is easily my favorite Pixar movie. We're just jumping right ahead. It's just my
Yep.
thoughts on Wall-E is the complete opposite for Up. This is easily like the best Pixar movie for me. Because kind of much like the first Incredibles, it's not just a movie about like an old man taking his house and flying it across the sky. It's not just about that. It's about this old man dealing with grief, the loss of his wife, and bringing his house to the place that they always dreamed to go to as kids. That's why he brings his house over there. Um, and so um, but yeah, it makes for I'd say on top of the emotion, it makes for a really fun adventure. Doug, Kevin, and Russell are huge standouts. I love Charles Muntz as a villain. There's one thing that I touched on in one of my rankings from a while back.
Mm-hmm.
The scene where Russell reflects on the time that he spent with his dad and how he called it boring, but the boring stuff was the stuff that he remembers the most. And then that comes back when Carl goes through Ellie's adventure book and like all the memories that she and him made over the years. Like that's like it's so beautiful. I think it like it's up there with the "When She Loved Me" scene from Toy Story 2 as like best emotional moments of all time.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so
Yeah.
I have a very controversial opinion right now. I think okay, I like Up. I think it's a pretty good movie. I just think it's a little bit overhyped. I know many people put this like at the best Pixar movies of all time, but I don't necessarily agree with that. I do agree it's a good movie, but I think it's a little bit overhyped, mostly due to my issues. But I will rate the opening in this movie is easily the best part of the film. I like
Hmm.
Carl's arc in this movie on him starting off as a grumpy old man who is fine on hitting people with his cane. And later in the film, he realized that the adventure with Ellie's marriage was the adventure all along, which that was such a good arc. And man, that when he opened up the adventure book, that is so heartwarming. Why does no one talk about that scene and instead of the opening up the first 15 minutes of the movie or 10?
I
Like
think 10, 15 minutes. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, I don't know. I do like many of the scenes in this movie. They're very beautiful. The soundtrack by Michael Giacchino is really good as well. I think this is might be his best composition.
Oh, definitely.
Close ties to Ratatouille soundtrack.
Hmm.
I think the jokes in here are funny. I like some of the characters, like Doug, Kevin, and the villain, Charles Munns, is great. But I do have issues with one is the pacing can get a little bit messy once we get to the forest. I think Russell is a little bit annoying in my opinion, and the whole promise he made to Carl felt a bit forced. Like Carl didn't promise Russell up on him protecting Kevin. So I I don't know. I found that weird, but I will agree. Up is easily one of the best Pixar movies, but I don't think it's top 10. But I'll put it in S tier since this is your favorite Pixar movie. And
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, we got that out of the way. All right, now we're on to the last movie of the Andy saga, Toy Story 3.
Yep.
And which this is easily the best ending to any Pixar movie. Like, sorry, the best ending to any animation trilogy because this movie is so good. I used to not like Free. I used to not like Free because of Lotso, but I'm now an adult and kid me was dumb since this movie is fantastic for a lot of reasons. The animation, once again, good. I like the opening on seeing Andy playing with his toys, but it's shown to us with imaginary stuff. I like that. I like the whole. I like the story. The characters in here are great, both old and new. Lotso is easily the best villain in the Toy Story franchise. I don't think there's no debate on that. Well, except for the whole Stinky P fan base where they consider him to be the best Pixar villain, sorry, the best Toy Story villain of all time. But I feel like Lotso is way better than Stinky P because man, they make a teddy bear so hateable, but you love him because he's hateable. I also like how they handle the nostalgia part of Toy Story, and the end is pretty good for fans who grew up with the first two Toy Story films. It makes sense for them to do that ending since the kids who grew up with the first two Toy Story films were probably packing their bags and heading off to college. So it made sense why they decided to do that. But overall, I really like Toy Story 3. I think this is an easy A tier movie. But let's hear your
Ye-
thoughts.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think everything about Toy Story 3 just like screams nostalgic, heartfelt, emotional from the opening. There's like so many iconic moments to count from that scene from this movie, from the opening imagination sequence to the final staff meeting to the Sunnyside daycare torture to the prison escape to the furnace scene to the goodbye. Just everything about about this movie is catered to the people who grew up with the first two movies. It doesn't though not in the sense that it like relies heavily on nostalgia, but rather using
Yeah.
that to enhance the story and the characters and the people that grew up with this series, because this was like an 11-year gap between Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3, and so
Oh
by
yes.
then like people were already in Andy's shoes. Like he represents all of us growing up and
Right.
leaving the franchise that gave us so many iconic and memorable moments. And I'm probably getting ahead of myself when I say this, but I mean, obviously, it's not even the Toy Story finale anymore.
Nope.
Um, like since like it's like you strip so if you strip away that ending and continue the series with another Toy Story movie, well, two more Toy Story movies. I'm not
Right.
Yeah, so like what exactly does this film have to offer? Simple, hilarious new characters, intense emotion, intense drama, perfect continuation of two's themes and narratives, expanding the world, and awesome and just like a super fun prison escape. I just watched Shawshank Redemption a week back. So like I know what I'm talking about when I say that this movie has probably one of the best prison escape sequences I've ever seen.
All right. I never seen One Last Redemption,
Shawshank
but
Redemption.
oh, Shaw Rank. No. Oh,
Yeah, it's super
yeah,
good.
yeah. So yeah, I think we can both agree Toy Story 3 is A tier, and this should have been the finale. But as we all know, in 2019 we got Toy Story 4, and then 2025, sorry, 2026, we got Toy Story 5, and then later than that, we're about to get Toy Story 6, and well, it's not confirmed by the studio yet,
But
but Andrew Stanton said he's
it's rolling
planning
around
to make a
soon.
but I'm kind of I'm kind of diverse with Toy Story 6 existing. I'm fine with 5, but I'd be like, nope, we don't need another Toy Story movie. Just end it at 5. I'm, I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
but Pixar might surprise me with 6, since they did surprise me
Mm-hmm.
with Toy Story 5, so they might surprise me with 6. But anyway, all right. Next is oh no, not this movie. Oh, Christ,
Cars 2.
Cars. Ugh. Oh boy,
Yay.
here we go. We're on to the film that I hate the most. And I know this is gonna tick off the Cars 2 fan base, but I do not care. If you read my letterbox review, or anyone has, you know that I hate Cars 2. I think this is easily one of the worst Pixar movies ever made. Well, not the absolute worst, since we'll get to the dinosaur film later. But I don't like this movie. I get the reason why many Cars 2 defenders like this movie. I mean, it does have that bad movie, but it's good charm. I will never deny that. And it does have its moments, like the animation, many of the action sequences, the wait, uh, many of the action sequences. Yeah, the music in here is good. I like how they use a spy theme music to the soundtrack, which works well with this movie. I like how they killed Doc in this movie, even though that sounds a bit dark, but it makes sense why they decided to kill off his character, since Paul Newman, the voice actor who played Doc Hudson, sadly passed away when this film released. So it's understandable why they killed him off. I like I like the World Grand Prix aspect in this movie, which I really wish that aspect was the focus on the film instead of the spy stuff. And Friendship with Bernoulli is hilarious, but I'm sorry. I cannot get on that ship unlike in this movie. I hate it with a burning passion for a lot of reasons. One is the story. I hate how they replaced the racing aspect with this pointless spy story that did not need to be told. Like, how the heck did we went from a hotshot show up who enjoys the simple things in life to spies? And the world building in this movie makes no sense whatsoever. Now, I didn't question the first Cars universe since I didn't really mind the whole how do the cars reproduce or how do they go to the bathroom, all of that. I didn't really care for that. But Cars 2, I will certainly judge this universe because it makes no sense. How do the cars pull out a gun? Or how do they have bombs or tasers? And on top of that, none of the characters in this movie are likable as well. Nope, they can range from uninteresting to super annoying and stupid. And the one character who is the perfect example of that title is Mater. I'm sorry, Cars 2 Defenders, but I do not like Mater in this movie. I don't get the reason why many people say Mater is peak in this movie. Because he's not. He's annoying. He makes the most insufferable jokes throughout the movie. He's stupid. And I hate the whole decision on making Mater the lead character instead of Lightning McQueen and, and putting him in the side character, which was a huge mistake, by the way, since Mater is not supposed to be the main character. He works better as a side character. I like him as a side character, and putting him in the main character and cranking up his gimmick to 11 is it doesn't work. And in my opinion, they butchered his character in Cars 2. The other characters are not great as well. Finn McNilson and Holly Shipwell are complete idiots. I mean, okay, they're decent characters. I kind of find them likable. But what frustrates me about them is that they're so stupid. They think Mater is a spy because he sounds like a redneck, which I will admit that assumption was pretty funny. I mean, he does sound like a redneck, so. But throughout the movie, Mayer himself told them several different times he and his wife, yeah, remember the criticism I had when Flick mistake the circuit bus as warrior bus? This is that exact same problem, but crank it up to 11 and you basically have Cars 2. But the main aspect why I hate Cars 2 is how this film killed the Golden Era. Now, I know many people don't care about that aspect, but I do. Since you gotta remember, Pixar was on a roll back then, releasing hit after hit after hit. But then when this movie came out, people think Pixar is a fallen off studio and now they're a laughing stock. I don't get how we went from Toy Story 3, one of the best endings to any animation trilogy, to Cars 2, one of the worst anime sequels of all time. So yeah, I hate Cars 2. Easily a D tier movie, but let's hear your thoughts.
Oh, that's a lot to unpack
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
Um, well, yes, it's
Hang
pretty
on.
Cars 2 as Pixar's objectively worst film ever. It did kickstart their streak of bad movies,
Wait,
yes.
sorry, you cut
Um,
off a little bit when you
Checking,
explain your
but
thing.
I wouldn't even. Did I cut off again?
Yeah. All right. You good? Explain it
Um,
again.
uh, yeah. Yeah, I know most people will point to Cars 2 as Pixar's biggest misstep. It definitely launched the beginning of their downfall. But I mean, I wouldn't even say it's their worst film. Honestly, I mean, this is one of those movies where it's like, yeah, kind of like on the line of like where it's like it's so ridiculous and over the top insane that you just have an absolute blast watching it. Nothing makes sense. It's just spy movie. It's just a Mater. It's like it's basically yeah, just kind of like a Mater's Tall Tales feature length movie. For the next what hour and a half. So yeah, get ready for the ride. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just love every second of it. I think the spy, like some of the spy stuff is like genuinely really, really fun. And I think even like beyond that, like some side characters like Francesco, I think he's easily the funniest character. But yeah, by Pixar standards, it's definitely not a masterpiece in the slightest. But dang
Nope.
it, it is too dang fun and too dang ridiculous to call it outright like unwatchable. It's like yeah, it's so so bad it's so bad it's so good.
I sorry, I cannot get on that ship. I hate this. Yeah, I expressed my
Like
opinion.
critically speaking, it is the worst Cars movie.
Yep.
But on a but on like a level of just like amount of enjoyability, like ironically speaking, yeah, I just have a blast with it.
Yeah. Okay, I agree. Cars 2 has that bad movie, but it's good charm. But I cannot stand this movie. It's so
It's
infuriating
so
on how
stupid.
stupid it is. It is a stupid spy movie that should not even exist. And it kind of made me have more appreciation for Cars 3, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, so yeah, my placement is a D for Cars 2. Where were you put Cars 2?
Yeah, probably on the same. It's yeah.
All right, now we got Brave, which this is the one movie that I consider to be just okay. Not terrible, not good, but it's just fine. And I'm totally okay with that. I mean, yeah, it's one of the weakest Pixar movies that is out there, but I don't think it's like god awful. Because there are some redeemable moments in Brave, like the fantasy, how they tackled some of the fantasy elements. I thought was handled pretty good. Some of the characters in this movie are likable. Easily, the best characters in this movie is King Fergus and the Lords. Well, mostly King Fergus, since I like how he's so goofy. I like how he's so goofy, and that's why I like him. He's easily the best character in the film. I do like the music, and some of the scenes in this movie are beautiful. Like that one scene where Merida and her mom are catching fish, and another scene where Merida goes against her mother's will and shoots an arrow in front of another arrow. Like that's good stuff. And the climax in this movie is epic, but there are some issues with Bray. Like, I think Merida and Eleanor are too unlikable throughout the first half of the movie. It kind of remind me of my mom and sister arguing, which that ain't a good thing, and I don't want to see that in an animated film. The story is similar to some other Disney princess movies that we know of, like Pocahontas, Mulan. I can go on and on with that. The bear plot is pretty stupid. Like, oh my gosh, why did they have to add a bear plot to Brave? But anyway, but thank goodness they didn't make her talk. Thank goodness that they didn't make the bear and Brave talk. And I think it's kind of frustrating when Meredith said it wasn't her fault that she turns her mom into a bear. Was also frustrating too, and the pacing in this movie felt a bit fast once we got past the scene where Mary and Mom are catching fish. But overall, I think Brave is okay. But let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, Brave is a bit of an interesting case for me. Because it came out the year that Disney and Pixar, for some reason, just decided to switch roles.
Oh yeah,
And so Disney released. So this was 2012. So Disney that year released Wreck-It Ralph, which is kind of on the line of what you would expect in a Pixar film, like a weird concept, but that turns out to be really really clever and unique. Meanwhile, with Pixar, they released Brave, which is more on the line of what Disney usually cranks out in terms of like like their princesses and the fairy tale, like the mystery, like the and like that kind of like mysterious aspect to it. I'd say on paper, like the pieces for a good story are definitely there. I think the opening like sets up the mystery really well. And I think along the way, like the first half or so, like you care for the characters, you grow to like them. Like everything seems to be going well, and then after the mother turns into a bear, you're just smacked headfirst into a kids movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just think like after the mother turns into a bear, the story just takes a complete just takes a complete 180.
Oh, I
Um
agree.
things do I do think things like come together like in the ending. The whole twist, like if they don't turn the mother back into a bear in time, she becomes like a bear both on the inside and outside. Some action scenes, like Merida shooting her arrow into another arrow, that's badass. As well as the climax, I really enjoy that. I like how the demon bear that was set up earlier. I
Oh,
like how it
more.
just like like it just like that like used to freak the heck out of me like it freaked the crap out of me as a kid.
Oh
Especially
yeah,
since
happened
it
to
just shows
me
up at the ending out of nowhere and just like wrecks everybody. That's like that like yeah, that scared me. But
too. Same
man,
here.
other than that, I mean like this movie's fine. Like a little bit annoying and a little bit immature in some points, but hey, I've seen worse from Pixar, so this is,
Same here.
yeah.
I mean, I would put it in a C, like a low C. Not terrible, but not good either. Where were you put Brave?
It's a weird case. It's like between like C or D for me. I don't know.
All right.
It fluctuates depending on my mood.
Yeah, I,
But
I think C
yeah.
tier is the right case since I feel like the only two movies from Pixar that are D tier is Cars 2 and the one movie that we're gonna get to later on this list. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the animated dinosaur movie that Pixar did in 2015, but we'll get to that later. But
We
anyway,
will get to that.
yeah. All right. Now we're on to Monsters University, which I'm going to let you take the helm on this since I know I've been discussing I've been going first for most of these movies.
Okay. So Monsters University, I consider it a decent I consider it also to be a pretty okay film. But I like kind of like on the same lines of Brave. It's like weird because I feel like there's a lot about it that like, well, I do think it is miles better than Brave. But I just think there's like a lot about it that like really works in terms of like Mike's character arc. Mainly that like since he wants to be scary like super badly. But that's okay because he found new purpose in scaring through training Sully. And I think that's like a really good message for like, you may not achieve the thing like you specifically set out to do, but you can find meaning through that goal, skills that you other skills that you have. So in terms of Mike's arc, I think that's like the main thing that this but I just think like once the whole scare games plot gets started, I mean, it's still fun, and I do enjoy the characters, but I think that's like around the time where like the story starts to lose it a little bit. Oh well, not even a little bit. It's just like it takes up like like the whole middle chunk of the film,
Oh,
and
yeah.
not a ton. No, there's not as much tension as there should be until the last act. So you don't really get any like. So there's not like a huge like threat, which you know this is a college film. Obviously, I'm not looking for like a huge, like gigantic threat against the heroes, but there could have been like a little bit more going on, especially with the quote unquote antagonist that they got for this movie, Johnny Worthington the Third. I mean, he's okay. I mean, just kind of like an idiot, just kind of just a rival for Mike and Sully, and he's decent enough. And I don't know, on the whole, I'd say like Monsters University, I'd say it's like far from a perfect movie, but for what it is, I'd say it's decent.
Yeah, I agree. Monster University is pretty decent. I have a soft spot for MU since I did watch this movie a ton when I was a kid. I still enjoy it to this day, but I don't think it's nowhere near at the same level as Ink because um like you said, once the scary game plot kicks in, it gets a bit messy. I think Mike and Sully's ego in this movie gets a little bit annoying. But and another aspect I don't like about this movie is I hate how Mike is the only member of the team that gets singled out. Like it doesn't make sense why
Oh,
many
wow.
people
So
single
just like
Mike.
me.
Yeah, I'm on the same level as you. Why does many people single out Mike in this movie? It doesn't make sense at all. Like, I would have been scared of a one-eyed monster coming out of my closet at the middle of the night. So why is he the only one to get singled out? Look at the other Macappa team. They don't look scary. Like Arlo in MU looks like a freaking Muppet. Or Dawn. Or Terry and Squishy. They don't look scary. How did none of them get singled out for this? Well, they kind of do a little bit throughout the first half, but still. But I will agree, most of the aspects you brought up with MU, I do agree with. I do like the back. I do like the story. I like how it is your typical college film, but I like how MU went uh went and told a college
Wasn't that my
story
joke
and
too?
oh my bad. Oh, hold on. Okay, okay, you're back since it was frozen a little bit. But anyway, but yeah, I do like the story. The music in here is also pretty good. I don't think you mentioned the music in MU, but I think everybody knows the music in MU is good. I like how Mike and Sully start off as rivals and they need to try to one up each other. I thought that was pretty fun. I okay, another aspect I like. I do like some of the characters in this movie, even though I don't really care for the Dudes Macappa team. They're fine, but I don't think they're the strongest side characters compared to the original film. I much prefer the side characters in um and Monsters Inc. compared to MU. And I do like the message on if you can't achieve that certain dream, you have another one planned. I think that's right. But yeah, overall, I think Monsters University is a decent film. Not one of the best Pixar movies that is out there, but definitely a huge improvement over Brave and Cars 2. I'm leaning more towards a C with MU. I think we can both agree MU
Yeah.
C. Okay, but I can't get to the. Okay, there we go. All right, Monsters University is a C. Yeah, C. All right, now we're on to Inside Out, which I think this movie is easily one of the best Pixar movies we got in a while. After two films that are just mediocre at best, and one film that was good but nowhere near the same level as the movies from Pixar's golden era, Pixar came back with Inside Out. And yeah, the hype for Inside Out still is still there. Well, I meant to say the hype for Inside Out definitely was up. I like how it's very creative. It has a great story about emotions, having feelings, and seeing what they have inside. Even though this has been done in other films before, like Optimus Jones. Does anyone remember Optimus Jones? I certainly don't. Well, I kind of do, but not really. But yeah, it does a really good job with it creates story. Many of the emotional moments in this movie hit, like that one scene when Riley told her parents that she missed Minnesota, and Joy when she's crying that she wants to make Riley happy. Those scenes are very heartwarming. The ending is also pretty. Wait, no, I think the ending is part of the emotional moment. What is it? Well, anyway, I like the characters. Many of the emotional moments are likable, but I think we can both agree that Joy is the one character who stand out from the pack. Her character arc is good. I like how she wants to push sadness in the sidelines so that way she can make Riley happy all the time, even though it kind of fumbles a little. Hopefully, this is an analysis, and hopefully, I'm not messing this up. And I like how at the end that she realized that Riley doesn't need to be happy all the time. I mean, it's okay to feel other emotions like sad, angry, disgust, fear. It's okay to feel other emotions and not just be positive all the time. It does have its Inside Out does have its issues. Like I feel like there are some plot points in this movie that could have been removed, and I wish Riley had more to do in this movie instead of being a tool character. I think, yeah, Riley's more of a tool character in the first film. I mean, she does have her own characteristic in this movie, but not a whole lot. But overall, I like Inside Out. I think it's a pretty good movie. But let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd say Inside Out 2 offers like one of the most creative worlds of any Pixar film. It's like, this is a film studio that makes Riley's dreams either that are thrown into the dump of basically forgotten memories. There's like stuff like there's like a whole like imagination land there. Um yeah, it's just like super creative, and I think what it has to say about emotions is really really important. Like emotions like are really like like are in real life complicated, and you got to know how to keep them in check. And I think that's what makes this like movie like work really really well. Plot points here and like plot holes here and there, and I think the adventure itself is like like a little too long, but I still really love this movie.
Same here.
Definitely like best thing to come out of Pixar, like at least in that time.
Yeah, as we all know, Pixar wasn't really at their best during this time. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Toy Story 3 as much as the next person, but Courage to and Brave are very mediocre at best. Monster University was pretty close, but thankfully this movie came out and showed us that Pixar is back. Oh, can anyone tell I took that from his review or his ranking?
Yeah, a lot of like a lot of jokes are from my old videos.
Yeah, but I couldn't help it since I'm inspired by your videos. All right, I think we can both agree Inside Out is A.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man, things are looking so bright for Pixar. It feels like nothing can go wrong. Oh wait, Ugh. Well,
Oh no.
too bad they couldn't keep this momentum going since a few months later we got the good dinosaur. And well, I'm gonna let you go since I know you have a distinct hatred for this movie, and I'm just gonna say right now, this is one of the worst. This is easily the worst Pixar movie of all time. But anyway, I'll let you go.
Yeah, I think we can. I think both of us can agree on this. I mean, I don't think there's much that you can analyze on that I won't already have already said. Um, yeah, this is my least favorite Pixar movie and one of my least favorite animated movies in general. The only worth this movie has is its animation, which is
Yeah.
absolutely groundbreaking. I don't think I need to tell you much from that front, but everything else.
Oh.
I do not. Yeah, I mean, well, I am really trying. I'm really trying to hold in my temper towards this film, but
You can go.
I still
You can
think
really.
I just it's not even like infuriating. It's just boring. I still think I still think the story is just like a complete copy and paste of, Lion King, just like in terms of Arlo's dad dying and returning as a ghost. That's literally just pulled from Lion King. I don't like any of the characters. I think I think the over expressive character designs clashes with the realistic environments. It's not even like a movie that like I hate because it's like super infuriating. I just think it's like super boring. Like there's nothing really like emotional to latch onto. There's no interesting characters. There's no interesting story. All the cool things that could have been explored about dinosaurs surviving the asteroid, it's not touched on. It's not touched on. I mean, I know this movie has its fans, and like that's fine. I don't mean to like hate on you specifically, but in terms of my opinion, this is not a good Pixar movie in the
Nope.
slightest. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. I hate this movie as well. I think this is worse than Cars 2. I agree with most of the points. I don't think I need to explain this since you did a better job explaining the problems of Good Dinosaur more so than I can. Yeah, this movie sucked. Yeah, there's no debate on that, except for those Good Dinosaur fans, which they are quiet. They're very quiet, unlike the Cars 2 defenders. So yeah, Good Dinosaur. Yeah, I hate this movie. Best Pixar movie of all time. Let's put this in S tier. And no, this is going straight to D tier. Low D. I don't think there's any debate on that. So yeah, and if you want to watch an anime dinosaur movie that's good, just do yourself a favor and go watch Land Before Time. You'll thank me later. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I prefer. I recommend an older movie than The Good Dinosaur, but Land Before Time was actually much better than The Good Dinosaur. I don't know if it's because of Don Blue, but yeah, I much prefer Land Before Time over this piece of garbage. And
Mm-hmm.
as much as I hate Cars 2 with a burning passion, as much as I despise it, I will give Cars 2 this. At least it wasn't boring. At least I can get some enjoyment out of Cars 2 compared to Good Dinosaur. Anyway, enough of us talking about the Good Dinosaur. Now we're on to Finding Dory, the one sequel that
Mm-hmm.
nobody asked for. No one asked for Finding Dory since many people thought Finding Nemo should just be a standalone film, and there wasn't really much to continue on with Finding Nemo, except Pixar proved us wrong. Just like what they did with some of their movies, they proved us wrong with this movie. And I think this was a pretty solid continuation to Finding Nemo. The one aspect I really like
Yeah.
about this movie is how they put Dory, the goofy comedic side character, in the lead role. Which this is the only movie I'm fine with with them doing that. Because as we all know, I didn't have good beef with the last Pixar movie that tried to do this. Or some of the other movies that tried to do this. Minions. I mean there are some
Oh God.
examples of the goofy comedic side character take on the lead role. I mean, there are some good examples of the comedic side character taking on the lead role that are good, like the Penguins in Madagascar, and I will also include the Pirates Who Don't Do Anything, the movie, even though I don't think that's technically a spin-off movie, but it kind of is. The comedic side characters taking on the lead role since they were the side characters in Jonah. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here. But yeah, I like Finding Dory. It's pretty good. It did a really good job on handling the concept of the goofy comedic side character taking on the lead role. And I think Dory actually works as the main character since she's one more developed and she ain't that stupid like Mater. The animation once again is good. Huge improvement over the first film visuals. I like the backstory with baby. Oh, let me. Okay, you sent me something. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I'm okay. I'll try my best. Yeah, sorry for going long mini analysis on this. Okay. Um, I like the backstory with Baby Dory. The message about wait, what's it called? I forgot. Is it I forgot the message about Finding Dory. Is it about
People with disabilities.
oh, people with disability? Yeah, message about people using disabilities is good, and the climax in this movie is is a fun bit. I like the climax in Finding Dory much. I like the climax in Finding Dory better than Finding Nemo. Problems. I feel like Marlon and Nemo didn't really need to be there. Dory having these weird flashbacks to help move the plot line also felt kind of weird. And there are some random plot lines that didn't need to be there, but overall, I like Finding Dory. Pretty good. But let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Finding Dory is probably one of Pixar's most underrated works. I like its message. I like its message about people with disabilities and how will love. I think the adventure itself is just as fun as the first film. The climax is absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I do think Marlin and Nemo don't really add a ton to the story. And I think the memory flashbacks that Dory gets one after the other, like they're cute, but like at the same time, it does feel like pretty convenient that it just gets like she just gets them one after the other. It
Yeah,
makes the story feel a little repetitive at times, but other than that, hey, if you want a sequel to Finding Nemo, I mean, nobody asked for a sequel to Finding Nemo, but for those who
no,
wanted it, and we got that, and I think for what it did, they did a really solid job.
yeah. I think we can both agree that this is a B.
It's better than Good Dinosaur. You can give it that.
Oh, absolutely. I will give it up. It's better than Good Dinosaur. So yeah, I'll put Finding Dory. Yeah, Finding Dory is easily beats here. Okay. I'm gonna try my best to not go into a full mini analysis on most of these films, since this is taking a little bit long. Anyway, next is Cars 3, and well, at least this film is better than Cars 2. Then again, I ain't saying much since I still think this movie is meh. It's just meh. I'm not really the biggest fan of the Cars sequels, and Cars 3, yeah, it's meh. Um, Positives, animation. I like how it forgot everything that happened in Cars 2. I like how this film leaned more towards the racing aspect than the first film, where in that film it only showed a few racing scenes. But in this film focused more on the racing aspect than the first film. I like the scene where lightning crashed, even though that sounds kind of dark, but it's pretty intense and fun. Well, I wouldn't put it that way, but it is very intense. I like the story. I like how they made the story relatable to athletes. Some of the characters in this movie are good, mostly the OG ones and some of the side characters. And there was one joke in this movie that I thought was funny. But man, there are some issues I have with Cars 3. The jokes, they're not funny. They kind of give me entertainment vibe, which that ain't a good thing. I have to compare a Pixar movie to a VeggieTales episode. I found Cruz to be a bit annoying. The ending is also really confusing, and the stuff with Lightning being old makes no sense whatsoever, even though he looks and sounds just the same like he did in the original film. So yeah, I think Cars 2 is meh. And easily a C tier movie, but let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I mean, I remember when Cars 3 like first came out. I mean, I like really didn't like it. And people I talk to about like with the movie, like they call it like one of their least favorite Pixar movies of all time. And yeah, I agree to an extent. I remember like really like outright despising it, but uh a couple rewatches ago, I mean, it kind of grew on me a little over time. I don't hate it as much as I used to. It's still boring, and I think the ending left a lot to be desired. Um in terms
Yeah, I
of
agree.
Lightning McQueen's character arc. They I think I'd say they did a fine enough job with putting his arc in as conclusive of it as they could have had it. And I think when it comes down to the emotion, it does it well. It does it well. So not great. Obviously, it's not nearly one of the best of all time, but it's meh. It's fine.
Yeah, 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 I agree. Anyway, past that mediocre film, next is Coco, which I think this is another movie we can both agree on this film being
Yeah,
A tier.
easily. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
don't think it's
think
controversial.
nope, it's not controversial at
Yep,
all.
easy. Yay.
Yeah, easy A.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody loves Coco. Well, except for Book of Life fans, where
Except for those who keep comparing it to Book of Life.
yeah, I will agree it is similar to the Book of Life, but they're not the same movie. I want to clarify that. They're not the same movie. The Book of Life is about a love triangle story. Coco's story is about the importance of family. And I'm going to be honest, I prefer Coco over the Book of Life because at least Coco didn't use pop culture songs by adding Mexican music to it. There are also some other great aspects about Coco too. The animation, once again, good. I like how they were respectful in handling the Mexican culture aspect. Since you gotta remember, Disney tried to do that once, and that did not turn out well. I'm looking at you, Pocahontas. Anyway, the songs in here are good. They feel like they came from a Talk to Your VeggieTales episode. The characters in here are likable. There's not a single character in this movie I hate. The world building is excellent. I love the twist villain. The emotional moments hit, especially the ending. There are some stuff in this movie I'm mixed on. Like there's some plot points in this movie that did not need to be there, and the villain's defeat is kind of rushed. But overall, Coco is an A tier movie. I don't know if you have stuff to add to this or
Yeah, I don't really have a ton to add. I mean, I don't think it's in terms of Pixar for this decade, this is easily their strongest work. Um, it's not perfect, of course. And there's a lot of things that I mean, I can't see where some of the comparisons between Book of It and Book of Life are coming from. This but any issue I have like in terms of like could have been better are overshadowed by its emotional moments. And how are you not gonna cry during the Remember Me scene? Like
oh
that's straight
yeah,
up one of the
that's
best endings in Pixar history.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
yeah, not too much else to add. I really love Coco.
Same here. All right. Next is Incredibles 2, the one film that is the most hated movie in Pixar's catalog outside of Cars 2. Yeah, I'm not kidding about that. If you look up a negative review on this movie, you'll easily find one. I mean, I get the hate around this movie since there are some dumb moments in this movie. Like, one, it feels similar to the first film. The villain in this movie is not good, and I don't need to get into the details why she's pretty dumb. There's a video that already explains this, so yeah. And I wish Dash had more to do in this movie. All he does throughout this movie is just do math. That's it. But over, but besides those flaws, there are some great aspects in this movie. I like how this film focused more on the kids this time. The opening in this movie is great. I like the score. Jack's powers in this movie is such a riot, and the mid swear moments honestly are easily the best part of the film. Well, that's not true, but still, they're pretty good. But yeah, I like Incredibles 2. I think it's a good movie that is a little bit overhated, but that is a little bit overrated. But anyway, let's see your thoughts.
Yeah, Incredibles 2 definitely isn't perfect. Yeah, uh there are like points where it does feel like it's copying the first film in some aspects, but not by much. And I'm still able to enjoy it regardless. I still think it delivers some of the best action sequences the series has to offer. The music slaps. I think the new character I think there are something. Yeah, there are things like some things that could be better, like the new characters and the villain. But I think its focus on Elastigirl is fun. Jack's new powers are hilarious. But yeah, not too much else to say. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's pretty solid.
yeah. I'm leaning more towards a B with Incredibles 2. Okay, I'm. Where were you put Incredibles 2?
Yeah, B.
Yeah, same here. All right, now we're on Toy Story 4. Oh boy, here we are. The one movie that a lot of people hate. I know you know that this film got so much hate during its release because it's unnecessary and all of that. But in my opinion, I think Toy Story 4 is a good movie, and oh gosh, I'm gonna get so much hate for this, but Toy Story 4 is a necessary sequel for one reason only. It needed to be there to end Woody's character. Without this film, Woody's story would have been there and it would have been ended. Because you gotta remember, the first one was the ending to Andy's story. Woody's story was still left to be ended in that film. So the fourth film needed to be there to end Woody's character. And I think they did a solid job on concluding Woody's character. And on top of that, it also has some funny jokes. The animation is easily the best part about this movie. I like the ending too. But I do have some issues with 4. It's still my least favorite Toy Story movie in the franchise for a few reasons. One, I hate how they sidelined the side characters from the first 3 films, which that's kind of strange. I like all of them. Why sidelight them? But in this movie, I don't like the inner voice they gave to him. That's so dumb and kind of butcher his character a bit. I also think Gabby Gabby is stupid. Her plan makes no sense whatsoever. And I think Bonnie was a little bit unlikable in this movie. She acts so whiny about Forky. But overall, I like Toy Story 4. Pretty good movie. I do agree Free should be the one to end the franchise, but I like Force's existence. I used to be a Toy Story 4 hater, but now I've grown to appreciate this movie. But anyway, let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I am probably one of the biggest Toy Story 4 defenders on the planet. I think for what the movie set out to do, in terms of being Woody's story, since he's no longer loved by his kid anymore, he's kind of lost his purpose in life, and that was like being there for his kids. And I think like seeing him struggle to find meaning, not as a toy, but as his own individual, makes for a really compelling arc for him. And I think people say that him like being separated from the toys, I say like him like his goodbye was necessary because you know his mission with Andy's complete. Bonnie will be okay without him, and it's time for him to carve out his own path, his own purpose in life. So in terms of Woody's arc, I think that's what makes this movie work really, really well, and it's one of the most underappreciated aspects of the film that most people like tend to see as like, oh, it's character assassination, but I think it's character development. Uh,
I agree.
Man is in
I
a
agree.
more than worthy installment in the series. Emotional, all the side characters are super fun. Bo was a nice returning character.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't have a ton.
Yeah. Okay, for me, I think I'm landing with a B with Toy Story 4. It's good, but I don't think it's like great. Where would you put 4?
It's an A for me.
Oh, okay. Alright. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to pull the wheel and oh, crap, my phone is about to die. Hold on, let me charge it. How are you guys enjoying this list so far? Because this is fun.
Hmm.
Alright. Okay, who's it gonna land on?
Okay.
Okay. We might do this again sometime, but we don't know when. If you're good doing that.
Yeah.
Alright. You gonna land on me or you?
Next movie.
Alright.
Um. Oh. Oh yeah, the wheel.
Yeah, the wheel. Dang it, it landed on you. Alright. You know what?
Ah, yes.
Alright, okay, I agree. Okay, I can tolerate 4 B and A. For your A minus. Alright. Now we got Onward. And anyone gonna get mad at me for saying I don't care about Onward? I don't really care about this movie. It's fine. It does a good job on sibling relationships and the fantasy elements and all that. And I do like some of the characters in this movie, but man, there are some issues I have. The voice acting for one. I'm not a big fan of Chris Pratt playing Barley. And it's kind of weird that the characters in this movie decide to immediately go back to their gimmick from the past, just as just just a snap and all that. I also find it annoying with Barley trying to help Ian, and there are some plot points that really didn't need to be there. But overall, I think Onward's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it cannot me too. I mean, I consider it to be like an okay film. It has the heart in terms of the two brothers and their relationship, but I just think like once the adventure gets started, I think the story gets very messy around the middle. Like, how do they get the map? How things like how they get from like point A to point B, like how things fit together. It's like they know that like they know the story they want, and like it leads to like one of the best third acts of in any Pixar film. But I feel like they didn't quite put enough time into thinking like how to get there, so they just kind of had to like put together like as much story as they could, like just put together like plot points together so it could all crescendo in the final act. So I mean, it has the heart, but on a plot level, it's flawed.
Yeah, I'm more of a C for Onward. It's all
Yeah,
right. It's
C
good.
feels right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think it's better. I think it's better than both Cars 2 and Brave, but not better than MU. All right. Next movie we got is Soul, a movie that just tells you to hey,
Ooh.
live your life, and it does a really good job of just telling you to live your life as it is, and you don't have to do big things in order to live a perfect life.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, I like the characters. Joe and 22 make for a pretty good duo.
Mm-hmm.
The the message is also good. I like many of the adult themes in this movie. This might be one of the most adult anime films in the same level as the films from Brad Bird.
Mm-hmm.
I also heard this movie around music. But if I have any issues with Soul, it's probably the Terry plot line. I think it could have been removed. I mean, it did have its purpose, but I feel like it should have been removed since he really didn't need to be there except for getting Joe back to his world. But anyway, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, I would agree. I really like Soul. Yeah, definitely one of the best Pixar films in recent memory. Probably their last like really great film in terms of, you know, original films. Yeah, I really love its message about life. The concept of the soul world is creative. Joe and 22 have a really solid dynamic. The characters switch bodies. I mean that's the part of the film that's like the most like odd to me, but it does make for a good character arc. Overall, yeah, I mean not too much else to add.
Yeah. I think we can both agree that this is a
Yeah, it's an A tier.
yeah. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna put so in A. Alright, next is Luca. The one movie that I don't see a lot of people talk about. No one really talks about Luca. And that's
Mm-hmm.
weird. I like this movie. It it's pretty good on just being a Ghibli style movie, but having a Pixar flair to it. And if Ghibli released this as their first CGI anime film, then they were off to a great start. Because we
Yeah,
all know how
you
Ghibli did
wish.
with the one film they did. Anyway, I mean, off sidetrack here, but yeah, I like Luke. Yeah, Luca is pretty good on using that style while also having a good romance with Luca and Alberto. I like their friendship throughout the movie, even though Alberto gets a little bit unlikable in the second half when they get to the human world. But he's still a good character. I mean, I can kind of see why he acts that way since Luca was the only friend he has, but still, he kind of feel unlikable a little bit. But other than that, I think this movie is pretty good. I give it a B.
Yeah, I'd say I give it a B too. It's definitely well, it and the Pixar film that preceded it, we'll get to that later, are very different from the rest of the pack, but for me, I feel like that's what makes it I feel like that's what makes it stand out. Like it's not ambitious, it's not trying to be the best thing of all time. It's just a really simple yet very charming story, and I think that's what makes it like really stand out. It's cute, it's quirky, it does the job well.
Yeah.
Definitely not top tier Pixar,
Nope.
but solid.
Yeah.
I really do like it.
Yeah. It kind of feels like Ghibli films like My Neighbor Totoro and Kiki's Delivery Service. This film kind of feels like those two films, but having that Pixar fur to it.
Hmm.
Anyway, we're out of that.
Yeah.
Next is oh my no, not this. Well, I'm just gonna say this. What happened to Pixar with this film? Because after they released Soul and Luca, we got this movie. Turning red. Okay, I'm gonna let you go since we both have a. Since I know we have a different opinion when it comes to this movie.
Yeah, I'm a turning red defender. I actually really like this movie. I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's annoying. The characters are so irritating. They suck and the story's like so weird." And I'm like, duh. It's supposed to be weird. It's supposed to be quirky. The characters are supposed to be, over the top because, that's school life for you. I like that was my experience like during well actually obviously not on the main character's shoes, but that terms of like awkwardness and like goofy quirky aspect, like that was my experience during middle school. And
Oh,
I think like all the characters are like funny in their own right. Um but yeah, on that aspect, yeah, it's pretty. I find it to be very enjoyable. Obviously, not top tier. It has some problems.
right.
I do agree, like in terms of like its story and like its metaphor on like puberty for girls with like a red panda. It can be like a little on the nose.
All right.
And also the last act, definitely gets very random XD with May twerking at her mother.
Oh, that.
That was like the only part that I just kind of rolled my eyes at. But other than that, I mean, I don't think this movie deserves any flack it's gotten recently.
I'm kind of the opposite. I don't like Turning Red. I think this is easily one of the most annoying movies that Pixar released. I'm not gonna go into full detail. Well, I have throughout most of this list, but yeah, I'm gonna say you gotta have to watch my Pixar ranking video if you want to hear my full thoughts, which is not out by the way. I still got more to do, but all I will say is that I think this is annoying. I will give it that the animation is good. I like how they had an anime style to it. That was pretty creative, and just like Luca did. But yeah, anyway. And I do like the backstory on how they became the Red Panda, but those aspects can save it from still being very annoying. I don't like any of the jokes. I know I'm not the I know I'm not the demographic for this film, but but that does not excuse it for wasting my time. I I don't like some of the characters in this movie outside of Mr. Lean, aka Ming's dad, or is it May? Yeah, May. May's dad, and I do like the grandma, and the aunts are pretty good. Aunts are pretty good, and the Mr. Pink cameo was also good as well. But I did not like May and her friends. They're fine, but I don't really care for them that much. I especially don't like the mother in this movie. I found her unlikable because, man, I don't know what I don't know why I have a disdain for her mom, but man, she got a little bit overborn a little bit. The animation, while I like the style they did, they went a bit too far in my opinion. I feel like K-pop Demon Hunters handled that style much better than Turning Red. And I don't like the period message they gave for little girls and teenage girls. I think it's a bad influence to girls who are experienced puberty. Just go watch Inside Out. It's much better than Turner Red since it's not cringy. I get why they're I get why this film is cringy, but man, I don't like it. I think this film is C tier level.
Oh, yeah, I consider it high B.
Okay, okay. All right. Um Anyway, I'm gonna spin the wheel again. Okay, close that. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna spin the wheel. Okay, let's see who it lands on. Is it gonna be me or Josh? Wait, is it gonna land on me? Please be me. Or is it gonna be you again? I think it's you. Yeah, it's you. Alright. Turn.
It's me?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh man, the wheel. I don't know if the wheel is rigged, but alright. Okay, I put Turnaround in a B. I was leaning more towards a C, but okay, it's a low B. I can tolerate it being B, but all right. Anyway, next is Lightyear, and well, this film is a
Oh
disappointment.
boy.
I think Lightyear is a disappointing movie. I kind of feel sorry for it a little bit, since it had potential to be good, but sadly was poorly executed. Oh, yeah, I gotta speed this up, since you told me you. Yeah, it had potential to be good, but sadly it was poorly executed from its from its executed story. The characters in this movie are dull and boring, except for Socks. I like Socks. And the villain in this movie is stupid. I don't need to get into details why he's stupid. Everybody knows that the villain in this movie is dumb. But there are some redeemable moments like the action sequences and the animation and the music. Overall, this is a very meh film. All right, but let's see
Yeah,
your thoughts on.
I have much to add on my end. There isn't
Yeah,
really much to add on my end. I made an entire review, only 6 minutes talking about Lightyear. So yeah, I mean it's not a huge surprise.
yeah. I don't think no. There's no surprise on Lightyear being C tier. Okay, I'm gonna try to speed this up since you told me you had to be somewhere. Okay. All right, next is Elemental, the little movie that. Okay, okay, I'm not gonna quote the like you said in your review, but yeah, Elemental is good. That's it. I think it's good. Not top tier Pixar movie like I originally thought. Originally, I thought this movie was a 9.5 out of 10 masterpiece, but that changed. I think this is like an 7 out of 10 movie, mostly due to its third act breakup, why reveal plot, the fake out ending, and I didn't really like Claude. I think Ember's temper and Wade's crying can get a little bit annoying, but overall, there are some good elements in Elemental. The animation, the backstory, the story. the storyline with Ember and Wayne's relationship, and the jokes in here are good. So yeah, overall, I think Elemental's a B.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. I would agree.
All right, you don't. Okay, there's not much to add on your part, or yeah, I'm gonna try.
Yeah, not too much else to add on my part.
All right,
Yeah.
next is Inside Out 2. Okay, so what are your thoughts on Inside Out 2?
Ooh, here we go. I think it's much better than the first movie. I think it adds like enough new to the world of this universe to justify it existing. Most notably, the new emotions and Riley becoming a teenager. I think the concept of growing up is felt here. The concept of new emotions and keeping even more in check as you start to grow up, and also learning to find your place and express yourself in what you're doing. I think that's even stronger here. And the world inside Riley's head feels very much expanded in a natural way. Everything about this movie just feels like it was always meant to be the next part of the story.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's nothing much I could add on your part. Yeah, I totally agree on all the aspects you said about Inside Out 2. This is an A tier movie. And I think this is the
Hmm.
one Pixar movie, the most recent movie, that I consider to be top 10 worthy because I'm not really the biggest. Well, I wouldn't say that, but
Hmm.
none of the movies from Pixar's recent era made to my top 10, except for two, which are Coco and Inside Out 2. But anyway, all right, now we're on to the last three most recent movies on Pixar's catalog. All right, first is Elio.
Ooh.
And, well, this movie is cute. Nothing much to add. I think it's C tier.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's okay, but it's like easily the Pixar movie that was like the least to talk about because yeah, there's not much to say about it. It's just mid. It's easily the most one of the most forgettable of this decade so far. It's not even bad. It's just yeah. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's better than Lightyear, but that's not really
Oh,
saying
I agree
much.
with that. Yeah, there's nothing much to add. It's fine.
Hmm.
Anyway, now we're on Hoppers, an actual good movie than Elio.
Yes.
After Pixar took a step back from Inside Out, they redeemed themselves with Hoppers, the most craziest movie that Pixar released. Now I had worry about this film being weird like Turning Red, and when I watched it, yeah, it's weird like Turning Red, but a whole lot better since I like most of the jokes in this movie. The weirdness is easily the best part of this film. Characters in here are likable, and yeah, overall, I think this is A.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely the most unhinged Pixar has ever been, and that's why I love it so much. Yeah, it obviously has like, an emotional core. But that's not even like that's not even like even the main focus of the film. Well, it is the main focus, like the main heart of the film, but like when it loses its mind, it loses its mind. It's
Yep.
super funny and like a lot of and there's like a lot of moments, like a lot of super funny moments in that movie to count. Not even getting into the fact that it's like this movie was directed by the creator of We Bare Bears, so it has like that similar
Oh, that
animation style, and it's very expressive. I think in terms of concept, it's very creative. Yeah, not much else to say. I think it's kind of underrated. Like I don't really see people talk about it as highly, but yeah, I still recommend it.
yeah, same here. All right, now we're on Toy Story 5, the most recent movie on Pixar's list, aside from Hoppers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the film that we were both skeptic on at first.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we all know the rest. This is actually good.
Yeah, it pleasantly surprised me. I mean, I already have, like I said, I already have a review talking about my thoughts, but to sum up, I love that Jessie is the main lead this time. Her backstory is further expanded on. I like that Woody and Buzz's friendship, how they go back to the whole bickering, fighting angle.
Oh,
Woody in general, I like that he's not there to stay, just helping while he's still around. And I think this is the one Toy Story movie where I actually cared about Bonnie in terms of her conflict of not being able to make friends because everyone else has devices while she still has toys. Lily Pad made for a really interesting villain, and how could I talk about this movie without mentioning the multiple Buzz Lightyears? I mean, come on,
oh, that
that was that
point.
that's still like my favorite aspect of the movie.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, not too much to add. I totally agree on everything you said about Toy Story 5. I'm gonna say my thoughts for whenever I make my review on the movie. But yeah, I agree.
Nice.
It's a. I don't
Mm-hmm.
really have much to play with 5, but I will give it that. It's better than Toy Story 4.
Yeah, and that's coming. I think it's better than Toy Story 4 too, and that's coming from a massive Toy Story 4 defender.
Yeah. Alright, so that's the list. What you thought? What's your thoughts, guys? Do you agree? You disagree? Please let us know in the comment section down below, and be sure to check out Jake the Man's channel. He's working on a review on Amazing Digital Circus coming out this Friday, I believe.
Hey, 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 hey! Spoilers.
Oh, sorry. I mean, it was on your community tab post.
Oh yeah, true. Still, no, don't give away. Well, I don't think
Oh,
you don't need to know any details.
nope. No, anyway. All right.
All
So,
right.
anyway, it's
It has
nice
been
having
an
you on the channel.
honor.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should do this again sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we can do the DreamWorks movies.
That'll be a lot to unpack.
Yep, I'm gonna try and speed. I'll do my best next time to speed run through every movie.
Yeah. But for what we did right here for the tier list ranking, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
has been
guess
an
I'll.
honor being on your YouTube channel.
Thanks. It's been an honor to collab with you, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess I'll see you guys later. Peace.
See y'all in the next one.